Hey, Teresa Dell here. It's Insight with Teresa, real, rogue, and random on Foodie Friday. So I just wanted to get this little video out for you guys. It's something that I created. I had a cabbage. And I was thinking, I want to do something with this head of cabbage instead of just shred it and put it in like some kind of taco or something like that, or just braise it or whatever, or saute it or whatever. So, or make a coleslaw. I think I know what I'll do. I'll make cabbage rolls, but I didn't want to make the regular kind of cabbage rolls. I wanted to do something a little different, a little lighter, a little atypical. You know what I mean? And so I had a beautiful big beef shank. So I decided to slow braise a beef shank, which I did. And then I shredded all the meat off of it. And I used it to stuff the cabbage rolls, the cabbage leaves. And it turned out really good. I left the ends open because I kind of like that look, that kind of enchilada look. But anyway, with the open ends. But anyway, so I made it, and it turned out really, really good. One thing I want to tell you guys to remember, you'll see the color. I took photographs of my steps along the way of how I prepared it. One thing to remember is make a really good salted water before you use your cabbage leaves, and put those cabbage leaves in there singularly. Okay, put them in there, not, you can put like 5 or 6 or whatever fits in your kettle, but I mean, not as a whole head. Put them in there and let them simmer in that for a few minutes, okay, in that salted water, because that will make that gorgeous green pop, that fresh green pop in the cabbage leaf, and make it a much prettier presentation. So anyway, I did go ahead and I made those, and I made, to go with it, I thought I'm going to do something different. I don't want mashed potatoes, I don't want potato salad, I want boiled potatoes, I want something different. So I got some barley, and I boiled some barley, and I made a barley salad. The barley salad has sun-dried tomato, asparagus, blanched asparagus, and black fig. And I made the vinaigrette. It's kind of a citrus vinaigrette, like a citronette, all right? So I made it with part white wine vinegar and part fresh ruby red grapefruit juice. And a little bit of avocado oil. I want a lighter oil for it. And some salt. I put a little bit of cayenne in there to hit those bitter taste buds, all right? And anyway, so that turned out really, really good. It did. That was really an interesting combination. That turned out really good. Nutty chewiness of that barley. So I did a step-by-step on that. I didn't do, I took pictures of the salad, but I didn't do step-by-step photos of them that I can remember. It'll show up if I do it. But anyway, so that's what I've been doing. I actually made that for my dinner a couple days ago, and I took pictures of it then, to put up for Friday. But I think you're going to like this idea. I also added, at the last minute, I added a cup of, you're going to go, whoa, okay, Chef Gordon Ramsay doesn't like yellow squash. He thinks it's horrible and doesn't belong in the kitchen, although I have found many ways to cook it that I think it's fantastic. I did it again, okay? So, and I absolutely adore Gordon Ramsay. I think he's just awesome. He's the epitome. He goes out there, hunts it, kills it, whatever, can break it down, prepare it. I think he is the epitome of a Class A chef, right? I really admire him, but I don't agree with him on yellow squash. So anyway, what I did is I took a half cup of yellow lentils, and I took about 6 to 8 inch yellow squash, and cut them up, chopped them all up, put that in a saucepan with some crushed onion and crushed garlic. Put that in there, salt and pepper, and I'm going to tell you a trick. Put that in there, and then some liquid, for it to cook in, obviously, and expand. The lentils will expand a little. So it was probably about 1 inch over the top of everything. And then I did put a tiny little dab of vegetable broth, bouillon, vegetable base. I did put a small tab, like maybe maybe a teaspoon of that in there. Anyway, to kind of lift the flavors a little bit. So I got that cooking and cooking and cooking. I pureed it all up. I add a garnish of sweet red pepper minced up, and some fresh parsley minced up, kind of to stir into it and give it some little color flecks. That worked out good. I'm going to teach you something though when you're working with yellow squash. It's tricky. you have to stay on top of those tones, those flavors. So I found myself having to add some white wine vinegar, correct the salt, a little white pepper. You're going to find yourself needing to adjust and readjust until you get it just right. Then I did put a pat of butter in it, about a tablespoon of butter in it, to give it a little fattiness, which was a smart call. Okay, and then also I used just marjoram and thyme and a little pinch, a small amount of basil to sweeten it up a little bit. So if you decide to try to make a soup like this, a pureed soup using yellow squash and/or yellow squash and yellow lentils, just plan on working with those flavors at the end of it, okay? Those enhancements, because it's a tricky vegetable. It is. It's like, where'd everything go? You know, it's like, I know I seasoned it. You got to work with it, all right? Anyway, so that's what I have going on for you guys today. I have those braised shank, beef shank cabbage rolls, and I have that barley and you know, that salad that I mentioned, and then I also made that little side of soup. So I hope you like the pictures. I hope that it sounds interesting to you, like something you might want to tackle. And don't be shy, okay? Don't be shy. Tackle stuff. You know, that's how we learn, right? We learn. God knows I have so many burns up and down my arms from when I actually was cooking in professional kitchens. And, oh my gosh. Anyway, and you learn to be more careful with your pots when they're going in the oven. Anyway, so you all take care, and I hope you enjoy this. Oh, I also attached some pictures of some appetizer trays that I've done through the years, some fruit trays I've done through the years, just in case you're kind of like, you know, looking for some idea or something like that. I did attach some of those, and those were just parties in my home, gatherings in my home, you know, through a couple of years. So I thought they might be fun for you to look at if you're looking for some ideas for, you know, the upcoming holiday, Easter, or just for the heck of it, spring, summer, whatever. All right, so y'all take care, and I hope you enjoy this. All right, bye.